Well done, Amhara Fano. This is the first time in the last 2 years that I am using such words for Fano fighters. What happened? Second story is from Tegarai viewers. Welcome back to My Views and News. Thanks for watching the channel. First story about Amhara Fano. Second one from Tegarai viewers, where IDPs stormed regional government headquarters today. My question is TPLF unleashing IDPs on General Werede, the president of Tigray? Is there politics behind the protest by IDPs? Let's start with the news story, which is from the Amhara region. Around 2 years ago, armed conflict began in the Amhara region between Fano fighters and Ethiopian security forces. Amhara regional government claims to be in control of the region, but if you look at the situation on the ground, government has lost control of its territories, its institutions. And one of the main proofs is that the educational activities have been severely disrupted. Total number of students in the Amhara region who are out of schools is huge. Tens of thousands. Students are out of schools. It shows that government is losing its grip, its authority in the Amhara region, but government does not acknowledge that. Fano groups in most part of the Amhara region, they have been opposing educational activities. They kill teachers, I think, in Gujjam. Gujjam Fano, led by Zameen Akasi, threatened those teachers who tried to open schools, and in one incident, Fano fighters killed teachers. So they are not allowing educational activities in the areas under their control. But we saw a different scene in Shoa today. North Shoa, Amhara region, where 8th grade regional exam was held today, like in other parts of Ethiopia. And Fano fighters have released pictures showing themselves protecting the students, protecting the examination center. Students can be seen taking the examination. And Fano fighters can be seen in the pictures protecting the premises where the examination was being held. Which Fano group protected the students and ensured the smooth holding of the 8th grade exam? Because the two groups operating in Shoa now, they're fighting. Amhara Fano Shoa Provincial Command, which is Mekatau Skandar Group. Amhara Fano, People's Organization of Skandar. Skandar Mekatau jointly operating. They're fighting against AFNF. Amhara Fano National Force, led by Daslenher. Asagad, was arrested by security forces. Two main players are AFPO and Skandar, AFPO and Mekatau versus AFNF, Amhara Fano National Forces. Which Fano groups ensured smooth holding of 8th grade exam in Shoa today? Skandar group. What I have learned is that Skandar Naga Mekatau group fighters, they were deployed at the schools, some schools in that area where the exam was being held. So that's what I'm saying. Well done, Fano. Why? Because well done, Fano group, which protected the students, which ensured that exam is, because this conflict in Amhara is endangering the future of Amhara students, their educational progress. They're losing the progress. They're not they're not able to be part of university entrance exams, and the conflict is set to go on. So, Fano fighters should ensure that schools are open in the areas where they're in control. Instead, they oppose educational activity, especially Gujjam Fano. So, it's a good precedence set by Shiva Fano, Skandar Mekatao. Other Fano groups should follow suit. They should also allow schools to remain open in the areas where they're operating. Second news story is from Tegaraj. I did a video today. I told you about a protest rally in Tegaraj today. IDPs took to the streets in Makale. They took out a protest rally in Makale. They say that they don't want to spend another winter in camps. They want to return to their homes. Most of them are from Amhara Sagade, Western Tegaraj. They chanted slogans. They marched towards the headquarters of the Tigray regional government, led by President Werede. They stormed the building. They entered the government headquarters. No one stopped them. They stayed to sit in there. They said, "We won't leave. We want our demands to be fulfilled." Demand is simple. They want to return to their homes in Western Tigray. Some would say, Sajid, don't call this area Western Tigray. Whether I call it Western Tigray or Volkayat Marasag, I am no one to say who is the owner of this. I'm no one to say anything about the ownership of this area. It's up to the people of Tigray, leaders of Tigray and Amhara to decide. I just use names which are used for these areas by the two sides. Tigray calls it Western Tigray, Amharas call it whatever past. Anyway, now my point, viewers, is that in January, similar protests were held by IDPs. And those protests were basically backed by TPLF. TPLF wanted to put pressure upon Getachew. Getachew was the president. Getachew was not on good terms with TPLF back then. TPLF wanted to remove Getachew. TPLF launched IDPs against Getachew. IDPs marched in Makale, other parts of Tigray. Getachew listened to their concerns. He promised that he will ensure their safe return and speedy return. Getachew is gone. Now Werede is the president. Is TPLF now unleashing these IDPs on Werede? Because Werede is not fully cooperating with TPLF. Werede is not cooperating with TPLF regarding TPLF's status restoration. Some sources say that TPLF is behind these IDP protests. It wants to put pressure upon the president, Werede. It wants president to raise the issue of TPLF's status restoration with the federal government and return of IDPs. Main issue for TPLF is the restoration of its status. And Werede is slow in raising this issue. That is why pressure now is being exerted on Werede through these IDP protest rallies. Having said that, I am not saying that the demands of IDPs are not justified. Their demands justified. They should not spend another winter in camps. They have suffered a lot. They should return. If they're not able to return, it's because of the failure of their leaders. TPLF, Tigray military, Tigray government, federal government, Amhara side, all are to blame. Keeping differences aside, keeping political interests aside, all should focus on this issue of return of IDPs. They should return to their homes as soon as possible. Thanks for watching.